So I had asked my friend a while back as a joke. I was like, hey, if you were to go to the gathering of the Juggalos, what drug would you do? Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, what would, like, you don't want to be, like, terrified.
Right.
Because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, with the like, you know.
I would definitely go to the gathering of the Juggalos, but I do have a preference to this. We have, as a joke one time, we threw a Juggalo party. And we were like, oh, it would be really fun to throw a Juggalo party, get a bunch of Faygo, and just have a house party where we all dress up as Juggalos. Because it's funny to be a Juggalo, right?
I would quite literally go to that, yeah. That would be
Yeah. So we were like, oh, this is going to be great. So we're doing this party. We have this party. And it's just like us and a bunch of the people that we know, and we can see everybody. Slowly throughout the party, though, people started showing up that we've never seen before. And people are in full-on, like, Juggalo makeup. And then they're like, the girls would show up, and they got their, like, Juggalette outfits on. And we're just like, who? We would start asking people, like, who knows this person?
Oh, no.
And then they're like, I don't know who that is. Nobody would know. Like, more of these people showed up that we've never seen before in our lives.
That's insane.
Full on makeup, full on Juggalo makeup, and we're like drinking Faygo, cheersing, playing beer pong. We're like, what the fuck is happening?
Wait, so how did they find out?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think it might have been like because I think one of our friends earlier in the day was like getting the Faygo, posting on his story, tagging like hashtag Juggalo life or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I really don't know the reason is, but like, Snapchat like location. I don't even know how they found the location either though.
One thing about a Juggalo is they're gonna find out.
Yeah, it's like a hive mind. They know where the honey is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so a bunch of Juggalos showed up and we're like, and we eventually had a call. It was like, it got fucking weird.
What did they start doing? Like just Juggalo activity wise, like that was
some of them were cool, some of them were fine, but there was like some weird vibe guys, like and like some weird vibe girls are just like in the corner, like just staring you down.
Oh no!
You ever been to a furry convention before?
No, but I have my friend actually accidentally went to one once in Vegas.
Same.
She stumbled
Same. Literally
You're
fucking
lying.
same.
I wonder
Yeah.
if it's the same
Well, not Vegas, Reno.
Well,
We're in Reno.
honestly, maybe.
And at the furry convention, it's like the foxes in the corners where they're all. I have a friend who is a furry.
Okay.
And they were telling me, they're like, yeah, the foxes are the weird ones. I'm like, yeah, dude, they're in the fucking corners just staring at you, like.
I'm done.
Just standing in the corner, like trying to be like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some of that vibe, and we were like, yo. I was like, we gotta wrap this party. There's actual like bad vibe Juggalos here, and we gotta get them the fuck out of here. And so we made an announcement at like 1 o'clock. We're like, everybody's gotta get the fuck out. Party's over. The cops are coming. Everyone's like, oh fuck the cops.
It's one way to get rid of them.
Yeah, you always say the cops are coming. Cops never came.
Like their arch nemesis. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the time that we accidentally threw a legitimate Juggalo party.
If you had the two, say you had like a fox and a Juggalo, who's more nefarious of the two? Like, who's more jarring? If you see one standing in a corner, like a dark alley, who would you be more afraid of?
The fucking Juggalo.
Okay.
Yeah, all day. I beat the fuck out of the fox. The Juggalo, I feel like, would actually, like, stab me with, like, a poisonous knife.
That's so valid. And it would be poisonous, too. It wouldn't just be a knife. It would be, like, some weird shit for sure.
I was telling you, I have a buddy that goes to the gathering of the Juggalos every now and then. He says it's the coolest fucking thing ever, but he says it's insane.
Clown Posse, ICP.
Yeah, ICP.
That's what yelling. That's where they get yelling. If you, dare I say? Yeah, I mean, listen. Might I die? Yeah, but I kind of want to go, like a bucket list thing, you know?
I would go too.
For sure.
I would go too. Like,
I'm trying to go this year. I'm like,
would you do drugs?
Well, yeah.
What would you do?
So, good question. So, I've thought about this because I did ask my friend. One of them said, someone said something like. They said acid. I'm like, you're insane.
I would never do acid. That'd be
like,
absolutely absurd.
Like, I would astral project and have a heart attack, like simultaneously. Like, I would not be good. I said Molly. I feel like that's the only logical
Molly's a smart one. I would probably do a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, well, they probably all are. They would probably.
I think they do meth.
Yeah, just straight like they just.
Like I actually know for a fact they do meth.
That's what I was like. If I had to say, I'm glad that like validates my thoughts because I was like, Juggalos for sure are like just on heavy meth for sure.
There's a lot of meth involved.
No judgment, do what you want to do.
I maybe some crack too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wasn't there like a documentary on this shit?
Really?
Damn, maybe I'm thinking of Workaholics or some shit. Did they go in Workaholics? I don't remember.
I hope so. Honestly, I love that show so much. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say probably Molly. Probably like cocaine as well. Not too much because then I feel like I would just be like the weird Juggalo in the corner, just like staring. So I'm like too wired,
like biting your lip.
Exactly. They're like, you're just like me. Like,
or I would just honestly drink a lot of alcohol.
yeah.
I feel like that'd be the play.
Those are all really valid options. Yeah, I think acid is horrifying. I don't know why she would ever say such a thing, but I think those are really good options.
Might as well do PCP at that point.
Yeah, I may as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's juggalos. I feel like it's probably the least judgmental place, you know, the gathering.
It 100% is.
They can't really be.
No, they don't judge you.
Well, with that said, gathering, if you're out there, juggalos, get me a booth at the convention. I would love nothing more than to come and interview all you guys. And like I said, no judgment. I'd let you do
Don't
that
even
on
get
my
a
podcast.
fucking booth. Walk around with a microphone and just interview them.
Honestly. I'm honestly so down for that too. I'm like, just let me in. Isn't it sold out already, I think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can see if I can get you a ticket.
Hell yeah. Guys, listen. I'll see you at the gathering. I'm manifesting it. But what were you going to say? You said, isn't there a what?
There's a, what is it, All Gas, No Brakes? Did he go to the gathering?
Wait, what is that?
You have never seen this?
No.
It's like an interview format where he walks around with a microphone and he interviews the craziest fucking people he can find.
I'll put that on my phone too.
Yeah, watch him. Like, it got massive, and he was just like, he would play this like kind of awkwardish character where he would be like, so what are you doing here? And then people would just go off.
No way.
That's where like the fuck Brandon shit started, was because of him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because he was at like a, I think Sturgis. And he was like,
crazy.
And he's like
the rally thing?
Yeah, the biker rally.
Yeah.
And he was just interviewing the craziest people he could find.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
dope. You gotta just do that and just give people the microphone and let them
Yeah.
talk, because people will go fucking off.
Oh yeah. That's honestly the goal. But now that I'm like validated, I'm going. I'll be there somehow. By some means, I'll sneak in.
Like if you went to downtown Orlando tonight, you could probably get some really hot takes.
Yeah. Honestly, I might.
Yeah,
I
go
want to
see
do that
the-
in Nashville.
Go see the Jesus guy that yells at you if you're holding hands with a girl.
Oh Jesus.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. They used to do that at spring break in South Padre. Like there was someone that was like kind of like that with like a megaphone, just like screaming at all of us. I'm like, I'm just 19. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I grabbed a Halloween years ago. I grabbed like a random girl in front of him and just started making out with her.
As you should. Listen.
Dressed up as Elsa.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He's like, what is happening?
I was Spider-Man. She was Elsa. No big deal.
Honestly iconic. On brand for Orlando, I guess, kind of like Disney-ish, I don't know.
Yeah.
But well guys, see you at the gathering. With that
See you there.
said, hell yeah, brother.
Try canceling Emma Roberts.
Wait, what?
Well, she beat the shit out of him, to be fair, allegedly.
Wait, like quite allegedly. Wait, like actually literally like
Yeah.
she's so small. I guess like it still counts.
I mean,
still don't do that, but
yeah. I don't know.
so like on the show, or she actually just like
No, like they were dating in real life,
oh.
and then she beat the shit out of him.
How did I never
And then I
think
think he
about this?
dated Halsey.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
At what point? I feel like that's almost as crazy as like what is it, Avril Lavigne dating Tyga or something. I was like, where did that come from? That's a random like
Yeah, that was weird.
from like Maud's son. I'm like,
You mean
yeah,
you mean
okay.
her clone?
Yeah, exactly. What's her name? It's like not Bethany. What is it? Stephanie?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Another conspiracy.
I'm not big on the clone shit.
You don't think Gucci Mane's a clone?
I didn't hear that one.
You've never heard that?
No.
Really? Okay, so legend has it.
Go
What a
on.
great opening.
Yeah.
Legend has it that when he was in prison, as we all know, he actually died in there. But his career was taking off to such an extent that they went ahead and just, cloned him or found like a really good lookalike. And then when he came out, they were like, listen, Keisha, like this is your new husband. Like you're just married to him now. This isn't actually Gucci. It's his clone, but like y'all are going to be rich. So like just deal with it.
That's
They
interesting.
just rolled with it. Yeah.
Because I didn't know Gucci before he went to prison.
Yeah.
I didn't know Gucci even. I knew him when he came out because
Yeah.
it was a really big deal.
The clone. Mhm.
That was like
Precisely.
that was like what, 2016?
Uh,
Maybe earlier.
When did he go in? Was it like 06?
I don't know.
I'm not that like caught up on his lore, but
I don't know a lot about Gucci, but
yeah,
I know I started hearing about him in 2016 when hip hop was really popping off.
I think that's like the height of when he was in fact a clone, when he first like became one.
That'd be tight.
Was one, yeah.
Well, I don't know if is it even a clone at that point or just got replaced.
Shit, I guess. Is it like I wonder if it's like actually him like rapping like the clone? Like what if the clone really has all the talent?
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what Gucci made sound like before.
Yeah.
I also know that
I'll insert clips, like comparison.
our guitar player Blake, he's very dead set on Paul McCartney being a clone.
Oh wait, I've actually never heard that.
Oh, he got replaced. He knows the story like really well.
Yeah.
But Paul McCartney got replaced because Paul McCartney died. But it was when the Beatles was blowing up. It's always when they're getting big, right? They replace them when they're getting big.
Oh.
And he got replaced by a guy named Billy Shears. That's the whole thing. Now, the interesting thing is like
Yeah.
one of these has got to be true,
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's
right?
gotta be a clone running around
Because
somewhere.
I don't think the Avril Lavigne one's true.
Yeah.
That one's like, no offense, why would they replace Avril Lavigne?
Okay, that's what my friend said on the conspiracy episode. They're like, but why Gucci? I'm like, why not? Why not him? Like, what do you mean he has hits for days? Like, his discography's unmatched.
I think Gucci over Avril, but I think that Paul McCartney over all of them.
Yeah, valid. Okay, fine.
Because
I
like the
suppose.
Beatles
Close
is
second.
insane. Like they're the biggest band of all time.
Yeah, agreed. But
So
what year are they saying that happened?
I think like the 60s.
So you think they had cloning capabilities back? I mean,
No, I don't think it's cloned. They just replaced them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not cloning people.
Okay, I'm like,
They're just replacing them.
Got it.
Do you have any pets?
A dog, yeah. A little
You got a
golden
dog?
doodle, yeah.
You know you
I'd
can
clone
clone your
her.
dog.
So I hear. Was it Paris Hilton, I think? Like,
I don't know.
she has like a little like reality show or something right now, and like apparently one of her dogs ran away, and she actually like did clone it like in some capacity. I don't know. Like
No,
a
you can
test tube
full
dog
on
baby.
clone your dogs.
Okay, but like, what's the process of this? Like, do you put them in like, is it like an IVF moment, and then you just get like a dog surrogate, or is it like an actual clone?
I genuinely don't know. I
Very
looked into this because it was like $35,000 to clone your cat.
Okay,
I was like, okay, that's crazy. We never do that. There's
sure,
a billion cats out there.
it's valid.
But $60K to clone your dog, and I was like,
I might
if I had the money, I probably would.
For sure. If I was Paris Hilton, I'd get like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Not? Like, why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Get backups.
Well, so I was talking to my girlfriend. She said, no, we wouldn't clone them because it's not going to be their same personality. I go, yeah, but you know.
Do we? You could pretend. Do we know though? It might be. Who knows?
I would just call like the second version of them. Like my dog's name's Kaido. I'd be like, yeah, Kaido 2.
Oh, love that. Not
That's
even a
his name.
junior, just like 2.
No, not a new name. Kaido 2.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, me as well. Yeah, I guess. Hopefully Jared Leto doesn't come around though. Like, what if he like would go after them as well? That's kind of scary. I feel like it's a real threat.
Oh, we're rolling, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, before this we were talking about Jared Leto sucking baby's blood.
Which he very well may. Apparently he has like a cult like out in the woods or something, and like if you're his fan, you can pay like an extra amount of money, I guess, for like VIP, which is just like, yo, you're in the cult. Like you're going.
VIP.
Yeah, like the extended version of like, you're like going to the woods.
What's up, FBI? You gonna look into that?
Yeah, like call the cops. I'm like FBI.
They
like,
probably are looking into that actually.
They very well might be, and I bet they wouldn't say if they were, because obviously they don't want them to be like, no, they're like hot on the trail.
They wouldn't. Yeah, no, Jared Leto's a weirdo.
Yeah, he might be a little nefarious. I mean, I'd still love him though. As I said, I might dabble. I might do that as like an expose. Like
you would go to the cult, the gathering.
The gathering.
The gathering.
The gathering of the Jared Letos.
The gathering of Jared Letos.
Hell yeah. I would. I absolutely would. But there's like pics of it online, like a little bit, like kind of like that I've
seen the all white, and all he wears is all white.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
kind of culty.
Yeah, we were also talking about how he's got like acid face all the time now.
Which, as I said earlier, literally Austin, Texas to a T. Like any club you go to, just the darkest corner of like the bottle service, like
there's just a guy like,
quite literally.
I'm enlightened.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So much ketamine.
Jared Leto, join our cult. We'll enlighten you.
Honestly, or maybe they went to his little gathering. Who's to say?
That's way too much for me.
Yeah,
I also think it's super fucking weird.
Oh, for sure.
And
as is he.
There's also a word. Someone said it to me the other day. I don't remember what the word is. It's a very big word.
Fair enough.
But basically it means that someone has created their own reality and they live within it.
I feel like that's probably a lot of people, dare I say, like in this day and age, to be fair.
Well, yeah. We live in a country of very egotistical people and very entitled people.
Crazy time. But with all that said, let's talk about you a little bit.
Okay.
If you want to intro to the people, like who you are and a little bit of info, and we'll jump into your story.
So my name is Bryan. I sing in a band called Fame on Fire, and that's pretty much it for now.
Hell yeah, brother.
We got an album coming out in September.
Very exciting. When was the last album that you guys had?
That came out September of 2022.
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah, we've been grinding it. This is our last album with our label.
Okay.
Which I'm very excited for. Labels will suck the blood out of you, like
people
Jared Leto.
He's just the CEO of your label.
Yeah, Jared Leto's our CEO.
Circle.
But yeah, I'm excited to like be independent, maybe make some sort of money in this industry.
Hell yeah.
Without like, killing ourselves on the tour.
Dude, a lot of people that I've had on are saying exactly what you're saying right now. Like a lot of artists are saying, hey, like in this day and age, it's not really necessary to have one. And it's better to be maybe like independent and do your own thing. Do you agree, or do you think you might look into another label?
So I don't really know.
Yeah.
we were independent for a very long time. And, well, we made a lot of covers. So we put covers online.
Yeah.
And it did really well for us. And we were making money. We were getting
Yeah.
paid to do this kind of shit. And we are like, this is fucking
That's
cool.
when I first heard you guys, I believe, was like a cover. I don't remember which one specifically, but I do know that it was one.
Without Me, Halsey?
Maybe. What year? I don't know. Who also
I don't
dated
even, I don't even know. Maybe, I think that was like
Yeah.
2019. But so we did a lot of covers, and
Yeah.
then we eventually signed to Opus Records because we were like, this is so cool.
It's a big label.
My favorite band of all time, Avenged Sevenfold, that was their first label.
Oh, so good, yeah.
So I was like, damn, this is sick. I'm happy to be part of this label. But then we realized that the money stopped coming in, and we were no longer seeing really anything. And it was just like, yeah, you are making no money, and you owe a bunch of money. And once that we realized that, we're like, okay, well, shit. Well, we're stuck here now. And so we've done our best, and we've made our way. You know, the biggest way bands make money is touring.
Right.
We've also been pretty decent with money by like trying to save as much as we can. But I do miss being independent for the whole purpose of seeing my royalty checks and actually making those.
Right.
Labels do help out when it comes to radio. And luckily, I do appreciate our team at Hopeless.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, no, fuck our team, fuck all of them. I really do love our team,
Right.
and I love the people there. But the whole business practice of a label, it's very predatory. It's
Yeah, so I hear.
pretty fucked up. But the thing is like, I do have hopes for maybe a re-sign. I don't know.
Yeah.
I told them what I want, and I was like, they thought I was joking, but I was like, no, this is my number. This is what I want.
Yeah, as you should.
And I was like, if I don't get this, well, I'm totally okay with being independent. Also, at the end of the day, it's not really my complete call. There's 3 other members of the band, and they also have
Yeah.
25% say each.
Have you been with the same members the whole time, or has it kind of like changed out since you started?
Well, when this band first started, it started on accident. We did a cover of Katy Perry's Unconditionally, and Alex, our drummer, it was just under his name because he's like, I want to do a drum cover.
Yeah.
And then Blake's like, well, what if I threw a guitar on this? And he's like, go ahead, that'd be dope. And so there was guitar, Katy Perry's vocals, and Alex's drumming on this. And they're like, well, this sounds kind of weird with Katy Perry's vocals. What if we got somebody to sing it? And I'm like looking at them because I was roommate with Blake at the time. I was like, who are you going to get to sing this? He goes, why don't you give it a try?
Yeah.
And I said, no. I was like, I'm
You
not.
weren't like a singer prior? Really?
No. I said, I'm not doing that. And he goes, dude, why not? I was like, because I don't want to do that. I wanted to just be a producer, like a music producer.
Yeah.
I want to just make music for other people. If I was going to sing, it was going to be screaming. I wanted to be in like a hardcore band or some shit.
Nice.
But I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be part of this. And he's like, dude, please just do it. He basically begged me for a week to do this shit. And I was like, fine, I'll do it. So I finally did it, recorded the vocals, mixed, mastered it, did the post-production shit. And then Alex is like, cool, let's go film a video for it. And so we're like, cool. Alex paid for everything. We went and shot a video in a garage here in Orlando. And we film it, and then we think nothing of it. Alex releases it, whatever the fuck.
On YouTube, or where'd he put it?
On YouTube. And that was it. I think it was just YouTube at the time. And then like a week later, I'm out at a bar with a girl. Blake's out bowling. And we start getting like hit up on like Twitter at the time, X now. And we get hit up on Twitter. We get hit up on like, we're getting text messages. They're like, yo, you guys are being played on the radio. And we're like,
That's crazy.
what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, you guys are being played on iHeartRadio right now. We won a competition. We didn't even enter ourselves into a competition.
You're like, wait a minute.
We're like, what the hell is this? So we figure out what's going on, and somebody took our song, entered it into an iHeartRadio competition for like a cover competition.
It wasn't like any of y'all?
No, it was none of us.
That's
We had
insane.
nothing to do
It's
with
a
this.
huge compliment, honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
That's dope.
which was super cool. And then the video blew up. And at the time, this is our first ever release. I didn't want to be in a band. I was over it. I just wanted to be a music producer.
Yeah.
Our first ever release, the name of the song was Alex Roman Unconditionally. It didn't even say our band name. We had no band name yet. And it was like everything we ever wanted happened on accident.
That's wild.
Yeah,
What
and
an
so
epic
that
story.
blew up, and we were like, cool, I guess we got to be a band now.
Guess we're going to come
Guess
on
we're a band now.
Forces.
And I go, Blake, what's our band name? He goes, Fame on Fire. I go, great.
What? Wait. So how did he come up with that? Do you know?
He had it.
Like, what a great name, but like that's
Yeah,
just to
he
say,
just
like,
had it in his back pocket. And I remember we would just go out on our back patio. We would fucking chain smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. Every morning it was a
Love that.
routine. Watch the 2 little ducks in the back.
Very European.
Yeah, very European. Very
Love that,
European of
yeah.
us. And I was like, so what? I said, we got to be a band. And he goes, yeah, we do. I go,
Yeah.
what do you want to name our band? He goes, let's name our band Fame on Fire. I go, oh shit, that's dope. I was
Isn't
like,
it though?
I was like, how do you have that? He's
Like, what this
like, I've
cover?
had it for a while. I was like, I didn't know it was gonna be a song name or a band name, but like, he's like, I think Fame on Fire works perfectly because we took a very famous song and kind of set it on fire in a way.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And so that's how it all came to fruition.
So from there, what came next after that? So you guys obviously had that song. So you were like, we got to get in the studio. We're going to make more songs or.
No, we actually sat around for 8 months
Okay.
and did fuck all.
Okay.
Cause yeah, I don't know. We sat around cause I was like, this is cool. You know, we got views. People from high school are hitting me up thinking I'm the cool guy now. Yeah. Which was so funny.
Was it not like that when you were in school?
Oh, no. I was the emo kid in the corner type
Relatable,
shit.
very
Yeah.
same, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much like snake bites, gauges, like severe side bangs. Like, yeah, it
Yeah.
was a moment in
I tried
time.
doing the snake bites. They never healed.
You know, I had to take mine out. I had to retake my senior photo because I wasn't allowed to have them. I was like, guys, you just don't get me. Like,
yeah, you don't get me. This is who I am. It's not a phase.
Literally, and I guess it wasn't, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, people like the popular kids would hit me up and be like, dude, I always knew you had it. And it's like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like really fuck off. But yeah, so we sat around for 8 months and then we're like, okay, well, maybe we can do it again. Maybe let's do another cover. Yeah. And we did another cover, and this one blew up even bigger than the last one because this time we had a band name.
Yeah, makes sense. What was the next one?
It was Black Widow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the one that I heard.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That was old. That was like
Azalea or whatever?
Yeah. That was 2015.
Okay. I want to say that was probably around the time that I had first heard of you guys, yeah, because I was a fan of that song when it came out.
Wow.
But then I'm also like, I was like an emo girly back in the day and still, so I think that's like how it happened.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the next one that we did, and then we're like, okay, what if we took this like seriously? Yeah. Because also the thing is that we saw some royalty checks that came in from the first one. We're like, oh, money.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, and so we're like, what if we can, because this is a big thing in the scene for people that don't know, not like paying for things, not out of your own pocket. So paying for music videos from money that you make making music. That's a very big thing. And that's the thing that we're like, we can pay for videos now, not out of our own pockets. Yeah. So this is huge. So let's do that. And so we're like, okay, well, because recording's free, I'll record everything, I'll mix it, I'll master it. And so we did everything ourselves, and then we just started releasing shit. And we're like, this is popping off, this is popping off. And then we got kind of formulaic with it in a sense where we're like, okay, New Music Friday, what is coming out? And we're like, okay, this new Adele song came out, Hello. We're like, okay, well, we got to be the first ones to get it out. Yeah. Because also, Our Last Night existed.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were like the first ones to do it. We were kind of copying what they were doing in a sense because we saw their cover of Radioactive and we're like, what if we did that? Yeah. That's super sick. Huh. And so we were like, okay, well, this cover of Hello, let's hit this cover of Hello. And we did it. We released it really, really quick. And it didn't do well until like a week went by. And then it just started going crazy. This video is our first million ever. And I think the video sits like somewhere maybe at like 25 million, maybe 30 million.
God, that's insane.
Yeah. The first like really, really big cover for us. And then we were like, okay, this works. This makes us money. Yeah. Let's do this shit.
What was it, like pop goes punk and like the punk goes crunk like back in the day?
That's where all of the ideas of this came from.
Huh, interesting. I was going to say, like, are you guys familiar with that? But I mean, I think like y'all do it a little differently. It's obviously not a bunch of artists like on one album. It's just you guys doing it on your own. But it's interesting to me that was so long ago and no one really ran with that until like you guys and, Our Last Night. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. And now people do it more often now. I do see it more often now. It is very taboo though. Yeah. And that was one thing that we really struggled with was getting respect in the music scene because you can do covers and stuff, but like if you go and play a live show, people aren't going to really show up just for your covers unless you're known for just doing covers. Right. Also, we didn't like really playing covers. Yeah. It got to a point where we were trying to be artists. We didn't want to only have to do covers. And so we're like, okay, well, let's start releasing original music. And it did well, but like a lot of people didn't give too much of a shit. And also it was a lot of, the industry didn't give a shit. Nobody in the industry gave a shit.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's looked at the same way as like an industry plan is looked at, where it's like you have no creative vision for yourself. You are not a real artist.
Which is crazy because I obviously disagree. I feel like you're still doing the videos. You're still like like, what do you say, like the mastering and like mixing everything.
Yeah, yeah.
on your
I mean,
own.
we were DIY to the fucking max.
Yeah.
We got so DIY that even Alex, our drummer, became the videographer.
That's crazy.
So there was nothing out of house. Yeah. Nobody else did anything for us but ourselves.
So arguably more creative than maybe most.
Yeah,
dare I say.
I also think that we had like really creative spins on a lot of the music too, because this is where like the industry gets weird for me. A DJ can do a remix and then be massive.
Yeah, that's so true.
But we do a cover, and it's not massive. Oh, I mean, like I guess they get big, but it's like it's frowned upon.
Like viewed differently. Yeah.
It's viewed differently. But the thing is like we are still using the same creativity as a DJ would. We're changing percussions. We're making our own riffs. Like, we're completely changing up the songs.
Which is true. I mean, it's not exactly the same. Like, you have to decide, like, how you want to sing it, how you want to make it different. Yeah. How do you go about that when you listen to a song for the first time? What's your process of deciding what you want to change and make your own?
Honestly, that would be a question for Blake.
Yeah.
The big thing is that knowing that I can, like, sing it, or that it's he calls it a Bryan melody.
Yeah.
So knowing that the melody would work for me and that it would sound good for me performing it.
How can you tell, like, what makes a song like a Bryan song when you hear one and you're like, oh shit, like
it's
I need to
it's like
that.
a more linear based melody, like what is a Linkin Park melody, right?
Yeah,
like that very like linear, like almost like two notes, not a lot of variation, like Post Malone, Kid Laroi, Juice WRLD, things like that.
Gotcha.
A lot of pop songs were like that,
yeah.
especially around like that 2015 to like 2020.
Okay. Have you guys toured quite a bit or not really, would you say? Because I know you said like...
So this is the hard thing. So we started touring once we started releasing original music. Mm-hmm. When we signed to a label and people are like, okay, I guess they're like kind of legitimate now.
Everyone's so critical. They're like, I guess.
We've had like a lot of judgment throughout the years, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I really do get it.
Yeah.
We even had a band that was signed to our label try to get us off of our label.
No.
Yeah, when
you
we
probably
first
can't say who, huh? Like, shout them out.
Yeah, no, they're not even worth it, honestly.
Yeah.
They're so like they got dropped.
Would you look at that?
Yeah.
It's karma for you guys. Don't be those people.
But so yeah, we heard through the grapevine that like they were going to our label because we were signing the same label, and they're like, "Why would you sign this cover band? Like, this is disrespectful to us and our art.
Ew.
Like they're not worthy of this, and like all this shit." And we're like, and we got wind of this, and we're like, "Yo, this is bullshit." So I went to the VP of the label. I'm like, "Yo, what is this? What's going on?" And he's like, "There's nothing to worry about. It's being taken care of." So it got handled one way or another.
Yeah.
That band eventually got dropped because they couldn't sell. So sucks to suck, right?
Quite literally does. We don't endorse them on this podcast.
But so yeah, we signed to the label, and then we started putting out original music. We released an album, and when we did that, we released it during COVID, which sucked because we couldn't tour off of it. But that kind of opened up the doors of people going, maybe they are a legitimate band, maybe because they can make pretty good music. Yeah. So what if like a band was to take a risk on us and like take us on tour with them? And the first band that ever took a genuine risk on us was Ice Nine Kills.
Oh, yep. Wait, that's so funny. I'm going to have, I think it's Miles.
Miles,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's coming on when they're in Dallas, coming up here soon.
I've never met Miles because Miles was like after our time with Ice Nine Kills. I have heard he's like the best dude ever though.
He's so freaking nice.
Yeah.
And I wasn't super familiar with them until like he and I spoke a little bit about doing a podcast, but their tours are insane.
Oh
like
yeah,
the
they don't
theatrics, wild.
Yeah, no, they don't stop. Like they are like, it's crazy how they do it, but I swear to God, like they're never home.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like I talked to Ricky, and Ricky's like, yeah, I don't know when we've been home last, and like their schedule's insane. But yeah, so Ice Nine Kills took us out on their not their very first tour, but our very first like legitimate tour, because we did some bullshit tours beforehand. But our first legitimate tour, playing like bigger rooms, like 1,000 cap plus, was with Ice Nine Kills.
What year was that?
This was in 2021.
Okay.
2021, yes. Okay. This is in September of 2021. Okay. So this is the first time we really started touring, and it hasn't stopped since, really. We have had like 5 months off, thank God. But yeah, we did that first leg with them, and we started learning a lot of things. And then we did the next leg with them, and also Bad Omens was direct support for them.
Love that.
Yeah. I remember I talked to Nick from Bad Omens recently. He's like, dude, remember that tour we did with Ice Nine Kills? I was like, yeah. He's like, we haven't stopped since.
That's insane. 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like it's motivational, but damn.
Yeah, he's like, dude, we haven't been home. And I was like, that sucks.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I guess, like I said, it's motivational, but even on this little tiny podcast where I'm like, ooh, I am tired. Like, I'm ready to like take it out.
It definitely gives you some perspective. I feel like being on tour and being that like active all the time definitely made me a better worker.
Sure.
Overall, and like more responsible of a person, which is great because I feel like I needed that. But yeah, we tour all the fucking time.
That's exciting though. So are you guys doing predominantly solo tours now, or do you typically tour with other bands?
No, we tour with other bands. Like that's the thing when you're touring with people, like when you're touring as a act, like you tour with other bands. Okay. You will always tour with other bands. Gotcha. Unless you're like in sometimes like in Japan they do solo tours. Yeah. But like in America you always have openers. Like even Taylor Swift, she has Paramore.
Wait, she does?
Yeah, Paramore is opening for Taylor Swift on the Eras tour.
Crazy like mix.
Yeah, I mean I think it's great though.
Yeah, that is sick.
Like I don't know. I used to like not really like Taylor Swift a lot. Sorry, Swifties. I have my reasons, which I could get into.
I mean, I have conspiracies about her as well. I feel like
no, she's just very greedy. Yeah. She's very greedy, and I do think she fucked over a lot of artists with her whole Spotify deal. Really? Yeah, because we would get paid more from Spotify, because as an independent artist, we knew how much we made from Spotify. When she came along, it was like, I'm taking my music off, and it's for the smaller artists I'm doing this for, because Spotify's taking advantage of us. Bullshit. They offered her so much money to go back on the platform, it took money away from all of us. And I don't know if she realizes that, but it's like, that's bullshit. She also cried wolf with the Scooter Braun thing. Like that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was like a whole thing.
Yeah, like, people buy masters. Welcome to the industry. Yeah, like that's how labels work. You were signed to a label. You're independent now. Like you're totally good.
Well, and then her like when she redid it, that like popped off like crazy anyway. So I mean, you know, her little like
exactly. Moment, which is like it feels illegal, like what she did, but I don't think it is. But yeah, so one thing I've been hearing a lot about lately, though, is that Taylor Swift is getting people back into, like, rock music, which is good, like guitar music. Interesting. Which is because she's playing guitar live, and then she's got a band like Paramore opening for her. And so anything that helps the scene is so, like, I appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah, there's been a big resurgence, though, which is dope, especially seeing, like, the younger kids on TikTok and everything, which is, like, weird to say. I sound, like, so old. But seeing them hear, like, Pierce the Veil for the first time. Yep. And they're like, oh my God, like, what's this song? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
seeing them experience it, like.
It's so sick. And it's like, there's so much of a resurgence in rock because, like, I mean, like, we were talking to Noah from Bad Omens. I was like, dude, like, you're doing it. You're doing it right. Like, this is really cool because, like, he's like, yeah, you know, we mixed the pop with the heaviness and, like, you know, I don't know if this is, like, knowledge or anything like that, but he was like, sometimes it's not great, though, because at the shows, they had to stop a lot of shows, apparently.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, people would, like, there'd be the new fans that have never been to a metal show before, and then you have the fans that only go to metal shows. Yeah. And they open up pits, and then, like, they, you know,
a wall of death at Taylor Swift. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like, you know, the Taylor Swift concert goer will be at a Bad Omen show because they really like the song because it's got really catchy melodies. And, like, okay, they're there. And then they get hit in the back of the head by somebody moshing, and then like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. And then there's a full-on fight that breaks out.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like online, there was this thing where it's like they had on their LED wall it said no fights or like no fighting because like it just kept happening. To them.
I saw that at When We Were Young Fest. I think they were like no moshing, and everyone was like doing it regardless. But I think that's because it's such a mixture. Like I saw Suicide Boys too live, and it was phenomenal, but a lot of it was like newer like TikTok fans kind of intermingled with like, you know, so I could see it there. Like, you know, don't want someone to like pass away, but
the fighting sucks because also like stopping a show. I don't know if fans know this, but it's like the biggest fucking vibe killer. We had to stop a show. Like a fan got way too drunk. I don't remember what state this was in. He got way too drunk, and you just saw like I was on stage and I was watching this guy in the pit. I was like, this guy, like this is not looking good for him. Damn. And he's going. And he just falls backward and hits his head, cracks his shit right open. Yeah. And so we stopped the set, and like I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
Because it's like
way to go, Starling.
Yeah, we stopped the set. I'm like really annoyed because like it's like this guy's really drunk, and then like I'm waiting for any sort of confirmation from security, and security's just not giving it to me. And then the crowd's yelling at me. They're like, keep going. We're good. We're good.
Just his body.
And then I'm like, and then I'm on stage. I'm just like, I'm gonna wait for security to tell me what the fuck to do. Thank you.
Yeah. This man's like, just lifeless. You're like, guys, no, we can't.
And then there's always like King Pit. There's always one guy, and he like goes in the middle of the pit. He goes, bro, we're all good. He's like, trust me, we run this shit. I was like,
his credentials. He's
His
like,
credentials.
trust me, I run this shit. Like,
It's always a shirtless guy.
dude, with cargo shorts of some sort. Like if
Literally
I had to
a
imagine,
shirtless
like,
guy with
you
a
know,
cargo
like,
short, like a
maybe
bandana.
ponytail. Yeah.
Bandana on. I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck it, run it.
This guy says he knows.
This guy says it's good. So we ran in, and yeah, that was but yeah, it definitely does.
Like R.I.P. to that guy, but yeah,
it definitely does suck to have to stop a show. It happens. It's also a lot of people have learned though, especially since like the Travis Scott shit too.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Pick people up. Our scene has gotten very good about it. It used to be a lot more brutal. Now it's like if somebody falls down, they pick them up really fucking quickly.
Yeah, I mean, as they should. I feel like you'll see the videos of like, say, Warped Tour back in the day, or just like an older, show from back then versus now, and it is completely different. I feel like the people on stage are like, hey, like everyone fucking stop, like help them up. Like they're kind of like more cognizant of it.
Yeah, back in the day, it was very much like we're not stopping our set. You can kill each other.
Quite literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know someone had died at Warped Tour. I had no idea, but apparently that was a thing.
Really?
During, I'm trying to remember who, Chelsea Grin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. I was kind of saying
They're
that. Unfortunate,
extremely
but
heavy.
yeah. Have you ever been to a show where you were kind of worried and you were like in the crowd and you were like, oh shit, like I'm gonna get like trampled? Not really. I'm trying to think of
the first show. I don't know if it's the first show I ever went to, but I saw Lamb of God at Ozfest, and I think it might have been like 08, maybe 06. I don't remember what year.
Yeah.
But so what they did was they just put fresh grass down like a week before, and what ended up happening is that Lamb of God was known for the Wall of Death.
Right.
So they did a Wall of Death, and as they're doing the Wall of Death, people are picking up the fucking sod and just throwing it.
That's insane.
Yeah, people are picking up the sod and throwing it, and just like there's mud everywhere. It was also raining too, so it was like wet.
Kind of iconic, but yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty iconic, not gonna lie. But like at the same time, I'm like, that was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember how young I was, but like I was young, and like it was so scary. And then you see like the skinheads and shit.
Damn. Yeah, that's never ideal. When you see them, it's probably time to flee the scene. I would say.
Yeah, the swastika tattoos definitely freak me out. They will
yeah.
always freak me out.
Yeah, not for me. I'm like, yeah, I'd say like I would
Yeah,
say that
I'm also a Jew, so it's.
No, you're not. Are you?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I had a whole bat mitzvah and everything.
Wow,
Wow,
congratulations.
Wow.
I never
Thank
had
you.
one.
She said mazel tov. Just kidding.
Yeah, I never had one. My dad said the synagogue was too expensive.
It's the most British thing ever.
Yeah,
to say. Respectfully, I can say it because I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, like don't cancel me, guys. That's crazy. Yeah, that's why I was like, it's time to flee the perimeter. I'm like, once I see that, I'm like, you know what? Like the ancestors just kick in. They're like, hey, get out of there, maybe go. Like,
yeah. The Aryan race boys, those motherfuckers scare the shit out of me.
Not a fan. We don't endorse that either on the podcast.
So yeah, at that show, I was definitely scared for my life. But everything other than that, like everything else has been completely fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know, that was like the scariest thing I've ever seen. So everything else is easy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like.
I mean, still to this day, Lamb of God pits are still scary though.
Yeah, I could see how that would be.
I was in
like
one very recently.
Would stand the test of time. How recently did you see them?
Last year?
Oh.
It was like, I think it might have been at Incarceration last year.
Oh, I really want to go to that.
Yeah.
Didn't that just happen this year?
It just happened.
Yeah.
You definitely need to go to those. Yeah, Lamb of God, still insane. I am the kind of person that I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very privileged to be doing this kind of shit.
Sure.
Like, I've always wanted to do this shit. But, like, I'm a fan of this music. I'm a fan of Lamb of God.
Yeah.
If there's a if they're playing, like, Redneck or, like, Later Res, I'm going to go in the pit. I cannot help myself. It's still really scary. And it's also really funny. I'll go in the pit, and, like, people are like...
They're like, wait a minute.
Are you Brian from Fame on Fire? And I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, that's me.
Like, so anyways.
And they're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
I'm just picking up sod. You're like, yeah, that's me.
I'm like, I want to be here. I'm like, this is fun.
Right? What are some of the best shows you've seen of all time, if you had to say? Like some of your favorite bands, like best live performance?
Best live performance recently, Sum 41.
Oh, where'd you see them?
Saw them at in Daytona. At, what is it?
I don't know.
Rockville.
Oh, okay. Another good one, yeah.
So I saw them at Rockville, and we were on tour. The band we were playing with, Sim, was on tour, was playing Rockville. We were not, so I hitched a ride on their bus, and I slept literally 10 minutes. Yeah, it happens. And I was watching Sum 41, and they're so good. They have a Met that counts them in for sure, but they have nothing. There's no tracks. There's no Met. There's nothing. And they just rip it. They're so fucking talented.
They've been doing it for, I don't even know how long.
A long time. They've been doing it a long time.
Blink-182, it's kind of like a similar time period, right? Since they started?
Yeah, around that same time. But yeah, Sum 41, one of the tightest bands I've ever seen live. There's also a couple other bands. I mean, my favorite band's Avenged Sevenfold, so I absolutely love them.
His voice is so good. I've never seen him live, but I've seen like videos. Insane.
Really, I've seen them so many times.
Yeah, I would love to.
And also, their songs are so long though, which kind of sucks because they'll play like 6 songs live, and you're like, and like 2 hours went by, you're like shit.
Little like interlude is just like 6 extra minutes. You're like, oh god. But yeah.
Yeah, that was another time I was in a pit recently. Was Sonic Temple.
Oh.
Yeah, went viral on that one.
Wait, what happened?
So I was extremely drunk at Sonic Temple.
I mean, as you should be.
Yeah.
At any festival, yeah.
I was with my girlfriend, and we were like, we got to go see Avenged Sevenfold. And she's like, let's go to the pit. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go to the pit.
Wait, we love her.
Yeah. Oh, she's a crowd surfer.
An icon and a legend.
Yeah. We will always, we're fans.
Yeah.
You know, we love doing this. We love the music. And so like, she's like, I'm going to go in the pit. I'm going to crowd surf. Like, do you want to go like mosh? I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And so we're in the pit, and Avenged Sevenfold's playing. It's so sick. And then a lot of people, same thing. A lot of people are like, are you like, you're Fame on Fire? I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, yo.
Everybody.
It was super sick. But yeah, there was a moment in their set where they played a song called A Little Piece of Heaven.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was like, and I looked at her, I said, do you want to dance? And she said, yeah, let's dance. And the pit's wide open. And so we started ballroom dancing.
That's iconic. I love that.
Yeah, we started ballroom dancing in the middle of this pit during A Little Piece of Heaven. And a lot of people filmed it.
I believe it.
And so like this girl came up to her afterwards. She's like, hey, I just filmed you guys dancing. Do you want the video? And my girlfriend's like, yeah, of course. Like, why would I not want that?
Yeah.
So she gets the video, and then she's like, okay, I'm going to post it online. So she posted it online, and then a few other people did. And then the Avenged Sevenfold cult goes very deep.
Right, I believe it.
Like, not a legitimate cult like Jared Leto.
Exactly. Like,
but,
a more tame.
Yeah, like, but like the fan base goes very deep.
Right.
And I'm very much a part of it. And the video went absolutely viral.
That's insane.
Yeah, of us dancing. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then, like,
yeah.
it's across countries now. Like, you see it in Spanish all the time.
Damn.
And, like, different languages, yeah.
I want to see it. I need to, like, insert it. I'll put the clip in, too, to
the
episode.
It's a video of me with my, like, I think I had blonde hair at the time.
Yeah. Wait, how long ago was this, you said? This was...
2023?
Okay.
Maybe, 2022?
Nice. Yeah, I want to see them so bad.
It might have been last year. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was a really cool moment, and I absolutely love them. And I did meet them. I met them.
Oh, at that festival?
No.
Okay.
I met Johnny Christ because we did a podcast with Johnny Christ.
Okay. Does he have one, or it was like a...
Yeah, he has a podcast called Drinks with Johnny, which everybody should check out. Very cool podcast.
Yeah, I love that.
And basically, I think the whole premise is to get drunk and have a conversation, which
with
I was
Johnny.
like...
like, as
cool.
you should.
And so I did that podcast, and I was like, this is really cool. I know Johnny Christ now. Dream come true. And then I was like, I'm going to hit him up because we were going to be in Seattle the same, like we had off days in Seattle the same time that they were playing the Tacoma Dome. And we're like, let's go see them. And so I hit him up. I was like, hey, can we come see you? And he's like, dude, yeah, I'll comp you guys tickets. Oh, wow. And then also someone in Falling in Reverse also comped us tickets because it was when Falling in Reverse was out with Avenged Sevenfold.
I'm so glad they're popping off. Like, Ronnie deserves it. I think he's dope.
We can talk about Ronnie in a second.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay.
But so, and we went and saw them. It was absolutely great. And then, you know, Johnny's like, come backstage, like, come hang out. So I was kicking it with Johnny. And it was super cool. And then Matt Shadows walks in, and their relationship, I feel like, has always been, like, kind of, like, they make, like crack jokes towards each other.
Right.
And Matt Shadows walks in this room, and it's called a family room. It's a big-ass green room. And we're all kind of in there. The whole band's in there. And my girlfriend's with me, and we're just hanging out. And they're like, and Matt walks in, he's like, oh, Johnny, I see you got a lot of friends. And I was like, damn, this guy's my fucking idol.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go say hi to him. So I walk up and I go, how's it going, man? I'm Bryan. I'm in a band called Fame on Fire. He goes, that's really nice. He's like, oh, super nice to meet you, dude. Like, so how's it going, whatever? And, like, I just froze.
I probably would, too.
And I went, I didn't plan anything out past this.
Like, I don't think I'd make it this far, yeah.
I didn't plan anything out past, like, saying hi to him.
Yeah.
And I just, like, froze, and I'm just, like, staring at him. And he's just like, okay. And he's like kind of like, this guy's weird. Yeah. And I was like, this is Blake. And I point to Blake, because Blake can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Blake's really good about this shit. And Blake walks over, and he's just like, what's up, dude? I'm Blake. I play guitar in Fame on Fire. He's like, very nice to meet you, dude. And then he goes, anybody good at ping pong? Or anybody want to play ping pong? And I go, and I just blurt out, I'm like, Paul's really good. I'm so nervous about this. I'm like, Paul's really good. And he's like, oh, I don't want to play against anybody really good. We're just trying to have fun. I was like, God damn it. I was like, God damn it, this is so embarrassing. So yeah, this was my only interaction of meeting Sinister Gates. Also, my girlfriend did get very embarrassed because she was crowd surfing a lot that night, and they saw her. She's a easy to notice person.
Yeah.
She's very attractive, and so they're gonna. When you're on stage, you're gonna notice the attractive girls coming down the line.
Yeah, she's like floating over the crowd. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I could see how you would.
And so she's like, I'm so embarrassed to be here right now. They're talking about me. Not the band, but like the security personnel or like whatever.
I think it's dope. Yeah, I think that's cool.
I think it was super cool. I don't think it really mattered, but yeah, very unfortunately awkward interaction I had. I hope he didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely did feel that way.
But you're like, but he definitely did.
Yeah.
But it's probably flattering though, even like after all these years, to have someone who's like that big of a fan, I guess, where it's just kind of like jarring to meet you.
I thought I would never get starstruck until Matt Shadows, because I've met Corey Taylor. Totally cool with him.
Really?
Yeah. That was easy interaction, whatever.
It's another man who's been doing it forever.
Yeah. I have a video on my phone of him and I yelling at each other behind a bar.
Wait, why? Just like
he was asking for, I think, milk or water. I don't know.
Milk at a bar?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, guys,
I don't
you heard it
remember
here
what he was
first. Corey
asking.
Taylor
It was either
gets
milk or
at a
water. Yeah. I don't remember what he was asking for, but he was asking for something, and I kept yelling at him, we only have liquor, and he was yelling back, I want water, or whatever the fuck. It was a really funny interaction. Yeah. And my friend Casey, shout out Casey, she's the bartender at like all these festivals.
Yeah.
Casey and Abby, those are my girls.
That's right.
But she filmed the whole interaction with him, and it's so funny.
That's actually iconic as well. I'm like, you know what, we'll put that video in too. Just kidding. If you have it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Sick. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, super cool. But like, yeah, I don't really get starstruck around any of these people except for Matt Shadows.
Is there anyone that you've played a festival with or been on the same stage with where that was kind of like a big moment? Like at a festival maybe, where they were like also playing?
I do think that like, I don't know. I being on the same like festival as somebody, you don't necessarily feel like, oh, I'm playing the same festival as them, because it's different. It's super different. When like a main act goes out, it's a very different feeling. Even when we played the same stage, it's a very, very different feeling. Yeah. Like, I guess like the biggest band we've ever played the same stage as would be Falling in Reverse.
Sick.
Yeah. Or like Bad Omens too.
Yeah, they're both massive.
Yeah.
But I really am glad that like Ronnie's getting his flowers finally. I feel like he has been obviously popping off for a while, but the man's been through so much, and like the amount of hate he gets online, and also the way he's handling his trolls right now is phenomenal.
I think Ronnie's the GOAT.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of Ronnie. Ronnie is exactly what we needed. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we needed in this scene. We needed the really good music. We needed new fans to come in. We needed a lot more crossovers, but we needed a personality.
That's valid.
Ronnie is the only personality we really have.
It's actually, that's a really good point.
A lot of people view him as the bad guy. A lot of people go off on him. But without him, their bands wouldn't be doing the numbers that they're doing right now. Like, genuinely. Because, like, you need somebody like Ronnie. You need the chaos. You need the rock star mentality. And part of me thinks that Ronnie knew this. Part of me also thinks that it's just Ronnie's personality. Because, you know, some days with Ronnie, like, because we did a little brief tour with them.
Yeah.
Them and Escape the Fate.
Oh, when was, what year was that? So if he was still in...
It was 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was December of 2022.
Okay.
And it was like just a really short radio tour. And Ronnie would literally go on stage. He's like, you know, these are really small shows. We don't usually do these anymore. And they all sold out in literally seconds.
I believe it.
But, you know, we saw the interaction of Ronnie, you know, getting frustrated with Escape the Fate because someone was smoking weed, because it's supposed to be a dry tour because Ronnie is sober.
Yeah.
I've seen also Ronnie get really mad at Franz on stage at Shiprock.
Attila.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was really crazy to witness because we were hanging out with Franz the entire time. I'm like, this dude's a great dude.
Yeah.
Super cool guy. And Ronnie was really mad at him and bitching about it on stage.
That's funny.
But then, you know, I've seen like the moments of Ronnie just being a genuinely really good person to people. Yeah. We were doing, this is a funny story, but we were doing a poster signing one day, and he was next to me as in... The way you do the poster signings is that there's like a person on the other side of you that is moving the poster as you're signing. Okay. So you sign, they move poster. Sign, move poster. And Ronnie just jumped in the middle of it. And
shit.
And I basically looked at him. I was like, "Hey, dude, just so you know, there's like a system here."
Yeah. And
he's like, "Oh, my bad, dude. My bad, dude." I was like, "You're totally good." He's like, "Keep doing your thing. I'll jump in later." I was like,
Aw.
Super cool. Yeah, so it's like moments like that where you're like, okay, this guy's like, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I feel like you can kind of tell. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like some people, I mean, not that I've met him or anything like that, but every person that I know that's had an interaction with him has nothing bad to say.
Mm-hmm. I've had friends that filmed him years ago, and they were like, yeah, he was actually really cool. He's a really nice dude. Like, if you fuck with him, he's going to say something. And honestly, I think that's so fair.
It has to be. I mean, for the longest time, I don't think there were really repercussions per se. I think everyone was so scared of like cancel culture.
Yeah.
They didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, and that whole the ship is pretty much sailed. I mean, it still exists on Twitter, but Twitter's not a real place.
Right, valid.
Like all these people bitching on Twitter, it really doesn't matter. Like your opinions are so it's a box, it's an echo chamber. People are saying something and then they're getting it back because that's all they want to hear.
Exactly.
And they think it makes them important. It does not make you important.
Yeah. It's not like real validation by any means. It's
no,
just a bunch of angry people that want to like.
It's a bunch of angry people that don't like somebody for something specific. We even got shit too because like the whole like the spirit box thing. Wish you were here, spirit box. Did you ever see that?
I love Spirit Box. Love Courtney. She's
I love Spirit Box too.
But no,
So Spirit Box didn't do the tour because they had so much fan pressure to not go on tour with Ronnie Reverse.
Oh, yes. Okay, I do remember
and
that.
Ronnie posted a picture saying, "Wish you were here," and it's Spirit Box. Like he posted like the tour picture, and then he had somebody like Photoshop the text on the banner that said, "Wish you were here, Spirit Box."
Yeah.
Which was all good fun. It was whatever. A lot of people got mad about it online.
Really?
And so, yeah, and a lot of people were like, oh, you're going to say this, but you took a racist cover band on tour with you?
Who? Like,
Our Last Night.
What?
So Our Last Night replaced Spirit Box. And I love the boys on Our Last Night. Like, they were nothing but, like, really, really good dudes to us. They took care of us. They were homies. Like we love those guys. And so, like, people on the internet judging people for past mistakes, it's the usual shit.
And what was it, just, like, something they'd posted in the past? Or
like, Trevor was in a Halloween costume years ago of him as a Native American. And so he had like the whole headdress on and everything like that. And they're like, you're going to support this racist, bigoted. But it's like, if you're one thing, you're everything, right? They're like, that's wild. You did this one thing, you are a terrible person. There's also fake controversy with Matt where like it was all just lies of someone going, Matt's sending me nudes, like unsolicited. Which never happened.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty rampant. I feel like you can.
It was all lies. It was all photoshopped lies.
Crazy.
And so people will run with their own, lies. And so they were like getting Our Last Night involved, and I was just like, and I don't remember if I was texting Trevor or what was going on, but we were talking about it. And I was like, I'm going to like go on Twitter and be like, yo, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, quite literally.
Like I was on the band account, I said, shut the fuck up to everybody. I was like, these dudes have been nothing but good to us because like Ronnie posted this thing, and then Our Last Night's getting all the shit. I was like, Our Last Night's been nothing but good to us, kind to us. Like, they've been the most genuine people. Like, and you guys have no business attacking them. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you get people in our scene, trying to be white knights, which is always like, get a grip.
Yeah,
bro. Like,
literally. I feel like it's kind of defeating the whole purpose of trying to be progressive and like stop the cancel culture.
Like they're like, you know exactly what you're talking about. You know exactly what you're doing. You're defending these racist, bigoted. It's like, it's like they're none of these things.
Yeah.
Like that's not who these people are.
Also, Ronnie is Native American. Like he talks about that often. I'm like, that's kind of like I'm like, wait a minute. Like he literally is like.
Yeah, it's like everyone talks about inclusion until you're the one on the other side. But the thing is that these people that are white knighting situations, they like live by this PC cancel culture sword. They will die by that sword.
That's insane.
And you've seen it time and time again. Like, there's some people that, like, talk shit to us. There's one specific person that came at me.
Yeah.
Blocked me on everything. I also blocked them. I have nothing to do with them.
As you should.
But, I got dirt on this dude. And it's like, I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's like, I got dirt on this dude. Like, I know what kind of piece of shit you are, dude. Mm-hmm. Like
it's always those people too.
Yeah, your skeletons are not that private.
Yeah, just projecting their own stuff.
Exactly, and that's all it is. And like, dude's already had a controversy already with like some Snapchat shit or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah, but there's just probably more to come for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I'm on the team of like holding people accountable and like not taking the bullshit. And that's why I really appreciate Ronnie and everything he does.
No, 100%.
And I know like the things with him and Chris Motionless. Because it does get weird for me in that sense, because Chris Motionless is a really nice person.
Yeah.
Like, he has been nothing but kind to me, and kind to bands that I work with. And so, like, I really do appreciate him. But, like, I get where, like, some things can, like, where, like, him demanding, and who knows if it was really him, demanding that Crown the Empire gets kicked off of the Trinity of Terror tour.
So let's like talk about the lore a little bit, just like for the people that might not know. Like, what's like the scenario with them? Because I know there was like obviously Ronnie and like Chris, they had their beef, but like, what's the Just like an overview of it.
I don't know what the real beef is. I don't know where it really starts, and I think it might be one side. I think it might just be Ronnie going at them. But so Ronnie came at Motionless in White, and I don't know if he did this because he saw the bullshit or what, but he came at Motionless in White and he's like, "You guys are stealing my shit. You guys are stealing everything I do. You guys are just biting me."
Yeah.
I don't think that was necessarily fair. I think that was like kind of reaching.
Right.
To be honest. And I also think it's okay to be critical of people within our scene, because I don't think you have to agree with everything one person says. I feel like him saying that Motionless was biting him is reaching, because Motionless has always been a spooky band.
Yeah.
They were doing it before anybody else. Like, really. So I feel like that's a far reach. But I think he was doing it to poke them because of what happened with Trinity of Terror. So there's a band called Crown the Empire, who they're all really nice guys. Yeah. And their guitar player's ex-girlfriend accused the guitar player of being an abuser. And it was pretty quickly found out that none of that was true. Also, I met him before, super nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, all these people, like, I don't know, you can kind of look at some people sometimes and go, you're capable of some bullshit. Like, you are capable of being a piece of shit. Like, you can tell when someone's going to be a piece of shit. This guy was like, he's not, like, I think his name is Brandon. He's, like, he's a really nice guy. And he was, like, super cool with me. Like, so I don't know. And also, I look at it like, you don't have to be cool with me. Like, we're the baby band in this scene. You could be a total dickhead to me, and I'll probably still like you.
Right.
Like,
fair.
But, like, this guy was super nice to me. And the story goes that Motionless in White did not want them to be on Trinity of Terror because of these allegations, which, fair, I do understand that, but there was no proof and no validity to the allegations, unfortunately. And so they demanded that they get kicked off the tour, which they did get kicked off the tour. Yeah. And Ronnie then had a really big problem with that. And Ronnie's like, you kicked off this smaller band than you. You deprived them of money and opportunity just for what? Like, with no proof? And so that's fair. Like,
I guess both sides, are kind of like a little valid for different reasons.
Yeah, like, that is very valid. I think saying that they're biting your shin, that they're ripping you off, I think that's a little far-fetched. There are some people that have ripped Ronnie off.
I'm sure,
Like, merch-wise, I've seen that. But I think that them kicking off this band just because the internet is mad about it, and also the internet being just, like, Twitter. Because, like, those people... The people that are going to cry about shit aren't even the people that go to shows.
No.
They're not the people that buy merch. They're not the people that support the scene. I do think that having weirdos in the scene is a bad thing. Like, if you're predatory, if you're a piece of shit, you don't belong in the scene.
Well, isn't that one of the reasons Warped ended, was just like a bunch of weird like allegations and stuff, or no?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know that our manager works closely with Kevin Lyman, but I don't know the whole story about it. I know that's what they're trying with the summer school tour right now.
Yeah, I was talking to Letdown about that, and he was saying that it was the same people. I had no idea.
Yeah,
they were kind of trying to like restart it.
Yeah, it's Kevin Lyman behind it.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, where were we at?
A lot, but no, I saw on I think it was Ronnie's Instagram. He had posted a comparison of like Motionless in White, like an album cover and his album cover. And I was like, well, when you put it that way, like, but who knows? I don't know what came out first. I know in that era, everyone did similar shit though.
Yeah, I also, Ronnie is also, he does things like with his art where he will have he'll have an idea for a brief moment in time. He doesn't stick with one image and rock with it. Yeah. The image is him. Mm-hmm. Like, that is the whole image of Fallen Universe. It is him. Motionless in White is a band image. So, like, Motionless in White, if they have, like, the idea of, oh, we're going to have, like, blue and red coloring, and that's going to be our whole thing. Yeah. And Ronnie did it for one picture, Ronnie will be like, oh,
it's like,
you're ripping this off me. But Ronnie did, like, everything. Ronnie's done, like, all the really cool ideas.
Yeah, he's super versatile, and his videos are insane. Like, the one he just did.
My God.
What was it for? Not Watch the World Burn. That was another one, which that live performance was insane. Yeah, there you go.
Just well, I mean, the one he also did with Jelly Roll.
Oh, yeah, that one's dope, too. Yeah. That's crazy. And a lot of people hated on that, too. They're like, country and rock. I'm like,
whatever.
On the alternative podcast.
I think it was, like, super funny.
I think it was dope.
Well, his whole thing, like, you know, he has trans friends and people that are trans in the community. Mm-hmm. And he's like, let's get them in the video. Because, like, you know, he is an inclusive person in a sense. Like, you know, he's got some hot takes politically, and that's totally okay. I think that people should have hot takes, and I think people should be allowed to have hot takes.
Yeah, to care. I mean,
I think it's okay to have an opinion without losing your career.
100%. I think it should be. It definitely should be. And I feel like we are kind of getting there a little bit. Like,
we are getting there. We are getting there. The cancel culture is getting way smaller. Also, it's just like the hypocrisy of it all. Because like a lot of people that are like, oh, this band is so inclusive. This band is like the band that I want to be a part of. Like there are really good bands, like people out there that are like really good. Like they, you know, they live by the sword, but they will not die by it because they are genuinely good people. But you know, they also work with people that aren't good people. They work with people that like are already canceled, but they're now just behind the scenes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because like this person's really good at what they do, and it's like, oh well, I want to work with this person because they're really good at what they do, and like I want to make my art better, and so they'll work with somebody that is no longer part of the scene.
That's so like, do you think that happens kind of often when someone does get canceled or they get found to be doing something? They're just kind of like put under the rug, but they're still in the scene secretly.
100%.
That's wild.
100%. There's so many people that like have had like that have been canceled in the scene. I say like canceled.
Yeah.
But like they're still around. They'll find a way. They're going to make their money out of the scene. You're still streaming their music.
Damn, that's actually insane. It reminds me a little bit, obviously not exactly, but of like the whole Nickelodeon thing. How they said they just kind of moved him around, and took him like out of like the forefront, but he was still kind of like involved, which is super unfortunate and fucked up. But like apparently he did so much for the network, regardless of like all the terrible things he did. They just kind of like tucked him away and still had him behind the scenes, which is awful.
Yeah, that is pretty fucked up. I mean, like anything involving kids is, if I mean, like if you're like fucking with kids or you're part of that whole shit, like that's
it's disgusting.
That's terrible. Yeah. Like
but
you should probably be burned at the stake.
100% publicly. Yeah. Agreed. But yeah, I had no idea. That's kind of crazy. I guess I could see it, but you know, I feel like maybe that's the music industry as a whole. Like there's a lot of things that, like people just don't know about that.
There's a lot of things that people don't know. There's a lot of things that fans don't know. Their favorite band is working with probably one of the biggest pieces of shit ever, but it's like it's totally cool because that big piece of shit is really good at what they do.
Damn, I guess so at the end of the day. But what is next for you guys? What are your plans coming up? I know you have a new album coming out, you said.
Yeah, we have a new album coming out September.
Is that going to be similar? I know like we kind of touched on this briefly, but like say Ronnie and like Jelly Roll doing that collab, like a little bit of a genre switch or like trying to dabble in another one. Would you guys ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, like funny enough, we know Bunny pretty well.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
Yeah.
It's the only Patreon I'm subscribed to for her podcast, like ever.
Bunny's fantastic. Bunny's great. But Bunny was a fan of ours.
Oh wow.
And so this was like I think in 2022, something like that. We found out Bunny's a fan. She hit up our drummer Alex, and she's like, "Hey, I'm a fan of you guys. Would love to meet you one day or whatever the fuck." I really don't know what she said to him.
Yeah.
But Alex was like, "Awesome, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Like, you're super cool. Like, what your husband does is dope." I also didn't know who Jelly Roll was at the time, and so she's like, "Yeah, totally." And then so I don't know what really happened, but there was like they were talking, and Alex reached out to her because we were in Nashville and we needed a rehearsal spot because this is right before we went to Trinity of Terror. We got off tour and we needed a rehearsal spot for a couple days. He was just like, it was something like that. I don't remember exactly. But he's like, "Hey, Bunny, do you know any rehearsal spots in Nashville? Because that's where they live." And she's like, "I do, but it belongs to Jay, Jelly Roll." And she's like, I can ask him if he can like help you guys out. So she asked him, she's like, "Hey, I don't know exactly what she said, but she was like, "Hey, there's this band I really like. They need a rehearsal spot. Do you know any of like rehearsal spots?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, they can use mine." And so he's like, "Yeah, go to my rehearsal spot, use it. We'll stop by and say what's up." And we're like, "So cool." Still don't really know who Jelly Roll is. So we go to the rehearsal spot, we're rehearsing, Jelly Roll and Bunny come by and we meet them, and it was like super cool. He's like, "You know, thanks for reaching out. Like, appreciate like you guys." And we're like, "Dude, no, thank you. Like, thanks for like letting us use this spot. Like, honestly, saved our lives with this shit."
Sweet.
Super nice guy. And then we all took a picture. And then didn't really think anything of it. And then fast forward a few months, we go to Earth Day Birthday, and we see Jelly Roll and Bunny there again. And Jelly Roll's like, he's like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And we're like, "Great." Super nice guy. Like, honestly, one of the nicest guys ever. Honestly, like, and he's one of those people that's not afraid to be like, "Oh, I'm a fan," which I love because, like, I'm like, "Yo, that's super fucking cool." Like, he is, like, a really cool guy. I don't know if he's necessarily a fan of our music, but he's a fan of other people.
Right.
And, like, he's okay with talking about it. And so at Earth Day Birthday, 2022, we go out on, or right before we go out on stage, Jelly Roll walks out with a microphone. He's like, "I'm going to announce you guys." And he's like, He's like, I need all of y'all guys to give it up for Fame on Fire. They're going to be the next biggest band.
Wait.
Trust me. I hope there's a video out there because that'd be super cool.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find it to put in the...
He's like, they're going to be the next big band, and you guys going to love it. They're going to like rock your face off, whatever. And he's like, go crush that there, boys. We're like, yo, thank you so much. So we go out there, we perform, and then after we perform, we get like, you know, we like cool off, whatever. Then we go watch Jelly Roll set, and it was like really cool. I was like, damn, this guy's really dope. Yeah. And then we met his band, and then afterwards we took another photo with Jelly Roll. We were hanging out, we were like talking to him, and then Jelly Roll blew the fuck up. Almost. Actually, I don't think he blew up as much as he is now, but like then we were like a year later, we're in Nashville, and we had an off day, and then someone hits up Bunny, and they're like, yo, is Jelly Roll playing tonight? And she's like, yeah, at the Bridgestone Arena, which is like a big deal in Nashville.
Yeah.
It's like 15,000 people or whatever. She's like, yeah, he's playing at the Bridgestone Arena. It's completely sold out, but I'll get you guys in. Oh, wow. Because, you know, she's got that pull. Yeah. And so we're like, cool, let's do it. That'd be great. So we go there, and it's just like full on like VIP experience. Like we got these like badges and stuff, and like there's catering, there's like open bars everywhere. It's like the coolest bar mitzvah you ever been to.
I love that. Yeah. Aside from my own, just kidding.
Yeah. And there's there's like all this food, and like it's super cool. It's like this whole VIP area for Jelly Roll's guests. And we're in there, we're like enjoying the food, enjoying the drinks. And then they're like, okay, Jelly Roll's gonna take the stage now. And it was just Jelly Roll. There was no openers, no nothing. It was just Jelly Roll. And we're like, fuck yeah. So everyone's like, we're gonna escort you out now. So we all go, and we're all getting escorted out. And then, well, before we got escorted out, they're like, do you want to meet Bunny? We're like, do you want to see Bunny? We're like, yeah, sure. So we go to their green room, and we're hanging out. And Bunny walks in with an entourage of people. Like, yeah, she walks in with an entourage of people and like cameras. Like cameras surrounding her. Oh. And we're like, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, what a crazy life. Like, what a crazy thing to see from the outside. Yeah. And like, we're getting filmed, like hugging Bunny, saying hi and shit like that. We're like, this is so cool. Whatever. Then they're like, okay, now it's showtime. And now Bunny's like, come with me. And so she goes next to Jelly Roll, and we're in this entourage of people that are walking. It's like, there's like 100 of us walking towards the stage with Jelly Roll. Yeah. And so we're walking towards the stage, and you start hearing the crowd growing loud as fuck. And then they're like, okay, you guys go over here. And we're like, okay, we're going to go over here. And then we go over here. We kept getting in trouble too. And Bunny kept going. Like security would be like, who you guys with? Because we didn't have the full right badges, because there was different badges you need to have. They're like, who you with? We're like, oh, we're with Bunny. And then we'd be like, Bunny. And then Bunny's like, oh my God. She'd come grab us, like pull us out from security. She's like, go over here, stay here, enjoy your time. We're like, dope. We're like side stage. Jelly Roll goes on stage, sold out show, crazy show. It was super sick. He brought up all like his best friends and all this really cool things. And then also met the guy who does the wrestling announcements, or not the boxing announcements. I
don't want to say the wrong person.
I don't want to say the wrong person either.
Community, I don't know.
Yeah. Super big deal though, because he announced Jelly Roll on stage.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. And so we're just like hanging out, enjoying the show and whatever. And then show's over, and then there's like an after party. And then you got to put your phone in like one of those pouches, those lock pouches. So we go to the after party, we're hanging out. Said thank you so much to Jelly Roll. He's like, yeah, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you guys. Like, yeah, dude, you're fucking awesome. And then we leave. Then we come to find out that there's a Jelly Roll documentary that's coming out. Oh. Which was this.
No way.
Yep, there's a Hulu documentary on Jelly Roll.
It's out now?
It's out now, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And which is him performing at the Bridgestone Arena, which is where we were. We were at that whole filming.
That's so sick.
Which kind of makes sense with Bunny with all the cameras. Yeah. And like when you're in there, you expect to see a bunch of cameras, like, because that performance is massive.
Sure.
But yeah, so there was this whole thing, like, so we watched the documentary, and someone texted my girlfriend, they're like, is Bryan in this?
You're just like in the crowd.
They're like, is this Bryan? And like they sent a picture. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking me. Damn. Yeah, and then Cody Ash, Jelly Roll's drummer, texted me. He's like, bro, you got more screen time than me. Oh my God. There's like, I don't have more screen time than him. I really don't. Yeah. But there's like a single frame or something like that of me just like there. It's when I had like red and white hair.
So like easy to spot. Yeah.
Very easy to spot.
Huh.
Yeah.
It worked out for me to getting clips for this episode, but I'm excited though. I'm like, we got a lot of good little things to add in.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm the Jelly Roll documentary for 2 seconds.
You're just in the credits, like for a little like.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
But yeah, super, super cool dude. I'm like, his success is built upon him being a nice person.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
That's what I hear. When I was in Nashville right before this, we had Struggle Jennings on, who apparently is like one of his really good friends.
He came out. Struggle Jennings came out on stage during that show. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Damn, how full circle. That's wild. I keep like on this podcast, we're running into people who know him. Like some, like I feel like he'll come on eventually. I'll catch him.
You will. You'll get him eventually.
Yeah. When he was, I thought he was gonna be in Nashville when we were there, but it was like 2 days after, and I'm like, get you next time, Jelly Roll. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's insanely busy these days.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But yeah, I mean, like him doing the thing with Ronnie. This is funny though, because we tried doing something with him. We just are not that size. We're just not that level. Because we asked Bunny, we're like, hey, would he be down to do like a remix of one of his songs? And then she was like, I'm sure you could cover it and he would love it. But like, she's like, you guys are asking a lot.
And we're like, can you send in like an ad lib? Just record it and like
yeah,
send it
she
as,
didn't
like,
say that exactly, but like that's kind of like the vibe we were getting. We're like, we are asking a lot. I don't remember exactly which song it was, but there was definitely a song that we'd like, you know, worked on some instrumentals for to see if we could hit a cover of it.
Yeah.
And it unfortunately wasn't for us.
Didn't really fit. Yeah.
It didn't totally fit our vibe, but like we were definitely discussing it, and we definitely wanted to try to get Jelly Roll in a song. And then Ronnie came along, being the rock star that he is, and he's like, hey Jelly Roll, what about a song? And he did it.
Yeah.
It's really funny too, because I heard that song like a week before it came out.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you?
From one of the producers who worked on it, one of the writers. And they're like, I don't know if this is ever going to come out. They didn't even know.
Really?
Yeah, and so I heard that song. I was like, damn, this is crazy.
Some alternative shit, guys.
Yeah, very alternative.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. I hope it comes out because this is cool. And then it came out a week later.
I wonder what like the deciding factor was, whether it was or wasn't going to come out. Like, I wonder what the debate was on that and why they might not want to.
I don't know. Probably just Ronnie.
Valid,
Probably just Ronnie being like an artist.
That's true.
Like, it's really cool. It's like my favorite Fawn River song right now is definitely Ronald, because it's insanity. It definitely tickles the deathcore part of my brain.
100%, yeah. And the video's nuts. He was saying, I don't remember, like in a TikTok or something, how much he spent on that video, where it was just like a ton, but I could see why.
I heard it was like 600K.
Really? I don't know why I thought it was like, I mean, that is crazy, obviously.
It might be more. It might be more.
Yeah.
Or actually, it's probably way more.
I think he even got like, people were upset. Was it like Alex Terrible or something was in it? And people were like, why? Which is also crazy, because why not? I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like he just tries to do like different shit, and people are always like, whoa, like freaking out.
Alex the Terrible was in it because, like, I mean, like, Alex the Terrible is like, he's a Ronnie supporter.
Yeah.
Ronnie's like kind of Trump in a way, where like he, you know, the loyalists, you know, enjoy the fruits of his labors in a sense.
Sure.
Like, I don't know.
You have like a dream collab that you want to do? Like, if you were to do like a song with someone, and not like a cover, but actually have them join you on a song?
Probably Matt Shadows.
Okay.
I mean, dead or alive though, it'd be Chester.
Oh, for sure.
Like, that's who like I modeled my voice after.
The amount of people that are forced to watch Live in Texas is just like offensive. Like his like, have you seen it?
Live in Texas?
Oh, anyone who like knows me is watching this like, oh, she's about to put someone else on. Like, when you have time, Live in Texas, it's Linkin Park performing in Dallas. It is the best live performance I've probably ever seen in my life.
I may have seen it.
Yeah, probably so. I feel like if you saw like a clip, you'd recognize like a little bit, but that's the name of it. It has like a ton of views, and like
Was it during the day? Was it daytime?
Yes.
Okay, I probably saw it then.
Just like a huge crowd. They play like all their biggest hits. It was like probably, I think like I don't know what year it came out, but like quite a while.
It was an older one, right?
Yeah. Highly recommend. But really good.
I think I might have seen this, to be honest.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
I used to work at Guitar Center. They would play shit like that all the time.
I love that.
Yeah.
Was that your first job?
It was like, well, no, but it was my first legitimate job. It was the first job on paper.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Worked in retail for like 2 years, and I was like,
God, yeah, same. I hated it.
might have been 3.
Yeah. Was there ever a time when you thought maybe you wouldn't make it, or like you kind of questioned the journey that you were on in music, or not really?
Yeah. When before we got viral on the internet, I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, I was pretty young too, but I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, fuck this shit. I was in a band for a while, and I was like, it went nowhere. We played a show every single weekend, and I was like, this sucks. It's not gonna work out for me. It's just not on the cards. And then, I mean, like, I stuck with music. That's all I've ever done is music. And so it did eventually work out. And like, here we are.
Advice for maybe like an up and coming artist?
If you're an up and coming artist, definitely put everything you have into it. You got to give everything you got to give your all, because if you don't, someone else is going to, and they're going to be way more successful than you. You literally cannot stop. You have to grind. You have to eat, sleep, just not stop thinking about your music. It's going to consume your life.
Sorry, go ahead.
And just let it consume your life. And you will be successful. Like, put everything you have into it, and it will work.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for your time. And we love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.